Guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, I'm going to be providing an update on UPI, Universal Proptech. This is one of my favorite penny stocks we cover on the channel, and there's some really exciting developments that have come out since our last update. Now before we get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a huge help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares of Universal Proptech, what you think about this news, and how you think they stack up for the back half of 2022. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be providing an update on Universal Proptech Incorporated. This is a company we've covered extensively on the channel. This is one I'm personally invested in, and it was actually one of my top picks for 2022. You can see here they closed out Thursday's session, so April 21st at 12 cents Canadian. They were up half a cent on the day, or about 4.4%. And this is one that's actually held up relatively well given the macro environment or the economic conditions we've found the market in during 2022. So if we actually look back to the middle of January here, you can see January 14th, UPI was trading at 13 cents per share, and they're virtually unchanged 4 months into the year. So again, trades under the ticker symbol UPI on the Toronto Venture Exchange, and compared to a lot of other stocks I hold in my personal portfolio, specifically small caps or penny stocks, UPI has actually held up fairly well. They've got a very strong underlying business and a super exciting technology in SpotLight-19, which we're really going to talk about in today's update. Now with that being said, UPI really hasn't put a lot out so far this year in terms of corporate updates or news releases, and I think that's really why we're seeing the stock price kind of hover or float around the 10-11 cent Canadian range. But again, that stability is actually quite impressive given the current state of the economy and the volatility we've seen in equity markets over the last couple of months. Now for those of you who missed our initial coverage on UPI or Universal Proptech, I wanted to jump over to the company website and give a quick introduction to their underlying business and what the company is all about, so you can see advanced technologies and control systems for healthy buildings in a COVID and post-COVID affected environment. And they've got the COVID-19 free zone stamp of approval front and center there. Now, if you continue to scroll down, Universal Proptech at its core is a building technology company focused on selecting, integrating, deploying, and maintaining PropTech or property technology in healthy buildings. The company has a strong operational track record with an active network of creditworthy government customers. UPI's wholly owned subsidiary VCI Controls, which we're going to take a look at in a second, has been used in federal government facilities for over 40 years, in addition to a whole host of other blue chip customers here in Canada, including the University of Toronto, Brookfield Property, Manulife, Morguard, Canada Post, a number of very reputable and very large organizations here in Canada. Now, if we jump over to the portfolio tab, you can see a breakdown of UPI's operating structure. So VCI Controls, again, that's the day-to-day bread and butter of the company, focused on the mechanical side of things, controls, energy resources, building performance, and you can see the COVID-19/air quality division. They've also got the UPI or Universal Proptech branded division here as well, focused really on the innovation, the distribution, so things like marketing, retail, dealers, sales, and the support. And if we continue to scroll down, and again, this is going to be the focal point of today's presentation, they've also got what's known as Iceberg. So UPI will act as the exclusive sales agent for the SpotLight-19 technology, which we're going to look at in a second, and other future platform offerings for the government and education sectors here in Canada. So Iceberg offers a product called SpotLight-19. It's currently undergoing a number of tests and really the focal point of a number of research operations that we're going to look at in a second here. And the SpotLight-19 technology is a non-invasive scan of an individual's fingertip with a harmless beam of light. So it's designed to provide confirmation of COVID-19 and a whole host of other things, again, that we're going to talk about in a second here, in under 1 minute with a comparably low cost to actually administer these tests. So SpotLight-19, unlike a lot of the other COVID-19 tests that are currently available, is designed to be non-invasive, quick, and cheap to administer. So obviously you can see the practical use case or the application in terms of high occupancy events or spaces. Iceberg SpotLight-19 technology is intended for use in large venues such as airports, border crossings, government buildings, schools, campuses, entertainment complexes, sporting events, things of that nature where there's a large number of people that need to be tested in a very short amount of time. And again, we really haven't seen a lot of developments on the Iceberg front in a number of months from UPI, and this is really what prompted me to dig a little deeper and actually get this video out. And with that being said, there's actually 2 research reports or studies that I wanted to talk about next up in today's presentation. So the first one here, you can see this is from the US National Library of Medicine, clinicaltrials.gov. And this study is actually focused on SpotLight-19's ability to detect COVID-19. So this is the primary use case here. So in short, the point of this study is to actually use SpotLight-19 to compare the results of traditional PCR tests and actually confirm if the results are the same for individuals that underwent the PCR test for things like age, vaccination status, and COVID-19 symptoms. So this is actually sponsored by the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute in collaboration with Iceberg Corp. And as we continue to scroll down through the report, you can see implementation of a rapid, accessible, and accurate COVID-19 test alternative is a cornerstone of public health efforts to contain and respond to the spreading virus. To respond to this need, Iceberg Corp is applying its SpotLight-19 technology or device to the challenge of developing a non-invasive screening test for COVID-19. The SpotLight-19 device is designed to use non-invasive visible and near-infrared NIR spectroscopic measurements of an individual's fingertip, or in other words, using light to scan a person's fingertip, in combination with an AI technology platform calibrated using viral diagnostic measurements to identify and recognize if the person's fingertip scan registers for COVID-19. All individuals who are 3 years and older and who are presenting symptoms of COVID-19 and designated to hospitals or assessment centers in Ottawa will be recruited to participate, with the exception of individuals who have extreme fingertip scarring. So they're actually targeting about 12,500 participants. And what's super exciting, and again, why I wanted to get this video out now, is the primary completion date of this study is estimated to be April 30th of this year. So the end of this month is actually their targeted completion date for the study. So this one, in my opinion, again, is really the icing on the cake for UPI. If they're able to master this testing, you guys, and come up with a non-invasive, a quick, and a cheap alternative to traditional PCR tests, this could really be a game changer here in Canada and obviously would bode extremely well for UPI or Universal Proptech. Now the next article we're going to look at is actually sponsored by the University of Iowa, the National Advanced Driving Simulator. And this really talks about some of the alternative use cases for the SpotLight-19 technology. So if we actually go into the next research report, again from the US Library of Medicine or clinicaltrials.gov, you can see here again the sponsor Iceberg Corporation in collaboration with the NADS or the National Advanced Driving Simulator, again in collaboration with the University of Iowa College of Engineering. So in both situations, these studies are in partnership with very credible organizations. And in this one specifically, they're using the Iceberg SpotLight technology to detect cannabis impairment in drivers. So again, this is a massive addressable market here, you guys, as we're starting to see THC legalized across the United States. Obviously, cannabis has been legal here in Canada for a number of years. This is a major challenge facing law enforcement agencies across North America and a great opportunity to showcase the SpotLight technology. So the high-level summary of this study, subjects will participate in a 2-visit study protocol in which they will be administered cannabis of predetermined concentrations and then asked to complete a simulated drive in a driving simulator. Subjects will be scanned on 2 different SpotLight-THC devices, one alpha and one beta iteration, so slightly different devices, and peripheral blood samples will be collected from the subjects. These will then be analyzed on up to 4 occasions per visit. So the purpose here is to investigate whether the SpotLight-THC device is a reliable measure of THC impairment at the roadside, which then could be used by law enforcement agents, with an objective to identify a unique blood analyte architecture for THC impairment using near-infrared light and machine learning. So again, using the power of light to scan these individuals and look for THC impairment. Now, under the detailed description, again, this is being conducted at the University of Iowa, so subjects who currently use cannabis recreationally will be recruited, and they can then sign up for this study, again, which will be conducted in a driving simulator environment. So they're targeting 75 participants, and they're expecting the primary completion date to be August of this year. So later in summer of 2022, or just a couple months away. So again, in my opinion, you guys, SpotLight technology is absolutely massive for UPI. And here's two very practical use cases with huge addressable markets that are currently in the testing or research phase. And if we actually jump over to the drivingstudies.com website, you can see the detection of cannabis impairment with SpotLight-THC and some additional prerequisites to sign up for this study. So in my opinion, you guys, as mentioned in the intro, UPI offers a great investment opportunity just for their underlying business itself with the smart building technology, not to mention their investment in Iceberg and their exclusive sales agreement for the SpotLight-19 technology. So although we haven't seen any widely publicized press releases from UPI over the last couple of months, if you dig a little bit deeper and you look into some of these underlying studies that are being conducted, there's definitely a lot to be excited about. And again, I think the timing really is key here, you guys, as these studies are expected to conclude in the next couple of months, which should act as major catalysts for UPI moving into summer here. So again, for those reasons, I definitely think this one is worth a look. It's held up very well over the last couple of months, despite the volatility we've seen in the macro investment environment and compared to a lot of the other penny stocks we've covered on this channel. Again, this is one I'm personally invested in and very excited about over the next couple of quarters. Now, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're currently holding shares of UPI, what you think about the Iceberg technology and the articles or studies we talked about in today's presentation. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button before you leave. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. Now, with that being said, I'll leave a link to these articles in the video description below if you'd like to go in and take a look for yourself. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.